Greetings, my dear class. Welcome back. In the previous class, we have learned up to 6.3, that is up to breaking of coal, and we have covered the topics up to hydraulic, what is hydraulic mining, and how the hydraulic mining is carried out, and next coming to applicabilities of hydraulic mining, merits of hydraulic mining, demerits of hydraulic mining, and breaking of coal. Now let us come to the part 2. In this part 2 we will be discussing about transportation system in hydraulic mining, and this topic is 6.4 as per our curriculum. Coming to transportation system in hydraulic mining. In hydraulic mining, the transportation system we will generally term it as hydraulic transportation system. In hydraulic transportation system, we are having two types of transportation systems. They are pressurized transportation system and other one is non-pressurized transportation system. Now let us discuss about non-pressurized transportation systems in hydraulic mining. In hydraulic mining, when it is coming to surface mining, in case of surface mining, and in small scale mining industries, we generally prefer this non-pressurized transportation systems. In non-pressurized transportation systems, the hydraulic mixture is moved on an inclined trough. That is nothing but when these water jets are being incident onto the face or a seam on the surface, after breaking the coal or after breaking up the mineral with the force of this water, both the mixture of water and mineral pieces will be transported to the slurry collection chamber, or it will be transported to the established mineral processing plant through a pipelines or through an inclined slopes. That is nothing but through an inclined slopes. It doesn't mean that they are enclosed, and that is not pressurized. When this material is transported through a pipeline or a flumes, we generally term it as flumes or chutes or troughs. I will be showing it in the figure. See, in this figure you can observe that the mineral or the slurry is being transported through the sleeves or flumes, or it can also be termed as inclined troughs. In this way, that means for the best example, I can tell you that it is a type of a drainage system which is established around our houses, around our social amenities. See, here you can observe that how the slurry in hydraulic mining is being transported through non-pressurized transportation system. That means the entire transportation system will be open to the atmosphere. Here we will not use any type of pressure generating pumps for transportation of slurry, so only we call it as non-pressurized transportation system. This is one of the image how the slurry is being transported from the face. In non-pressurized transportation system, both the feeding end and the discharge end of the transporting media will have the same pressure, that is atmospheric pressure. That means both the pressures will be same, because here we are not using any type of pressure raising pumps in this. Coming to pressurized systems, the hydraulic mixture in the pipelines is under an excessive pressure. We use this pressurized system of transportation in hydraulic mining only when the slurry, that means the mixture of hydraulic that means the hydraulic mixture, which is a combination of the broken rock pieces or the broken ore pieces or the broken mineral pieces along with the water, will be pressurized into the pipelines in order to transport that material from the feeding end to the discharge end, where both the ends are of larger distances. So then only we use this. And in this pressurized system, the required excessive pressure will be provided by pumps like boring pumps or coal suction pumps and pumps like that, which helps in generating high pressures. And in pressurized transportation systems, the pressure resulting from the difference in altitudes between the beginning and the end of pipeline is sometimes sufficient for hydraulic transport. That is nothing but throughout the way or throughout the distance of the transportation of this hydraulic mixture and needs sometimes high pressure and sometimes low pressure. That means when there is requirement of increasing the pressure in order to overcome the bank or in order to overcome the slope or incline or towards the raise side, we need to increase the pressure. So in hydraulic pressure, by increasing the pressure in the pressurized transportation system, we need not have to worry regarding that, because we are using already pre-decided and suitable pressure increasing bore pumps or suction pumps. In this image, you can see how hydraulic mining is carried out in underground, and this is one of the best example for pressurized transportation system in hydraulic mining. Here right top corner in this area, you can see that water is being collected from water reservoir through pipelines, and it is coming down in this way into underground mining. And from here you can see a personnel who is standing with a water jet monitor, and he is spraying water onto the face in the seam at this area. And after breaking the mineral pieces on the face, these pieces are generally transported through an inclined trough into this underground coal handling sump. That is nothing but at this place, in this sump, the mixture or the slurry of water and coal pieces is being collected, and from here with a high suction pump or slurry suction pump, the entire slurry mixture will be transported in upward direction to this screening plant from here. And from here the entire slurry will be screened. That means the water and the coal pieces will be separated, and the coal pieces will be directly dumped into the bunker, from where it will be loaded into a transporting media like this. And from here the entire coal or the mineral will be transported. And in this hydraulic method of coal mining, you can observe the similar activity which we have seen in the previous picture. See, this is a closed loop, or we can call it a transporting media for transporting the slurry in a closed loop of pipeline with a high hydraulic pressure. See how long distances the entire hydraulic mixture is being transported in this image. And hydraulic transport occurs only if the travel speed of the hydraulic mixture exceeds a certain minimum speed, that is nothing but critical speed. Here in pressurized transportation system, the entire slurry is transported in the pipelines only when the slurry is having a critical speed. Without critical speed, the hydraulic mixture, that means the mixture of mineral and water, cannot be transported. Generally the critical speed varies from 1.5 meters per second to 5 meters per second. This clearly depends on the density and size of the particles which is to be transported. And in this speed range, the small and light particles, that means the mineral particles which are to be transported through pipelines, if those minerals are light particles, that means which are having very low density, for example compared to other ores, coal is of very low density compared to iron ore or compared to other metal ores. Coal is of very low density, so we can assume that it is a light particle. These kind of light particles can be transported through pipelines, and these particles will be suspending on the water inside the pipeline. Suspending on the water, what does it mean? Means suspending is nothing but these coal particles will be floating on the water while its way to transportation inside the pipes. And medium particles means is lighter, more denser than coal particles, like coal. Other mineral particles which are slightly of more density than coal, these particles will be, half particle will be floating on the water and half particle will be submerged in the water, and the flow rate will be common as we have discussed in the previous slide. And next, large or heaviest particles, that means the mineral pieces or the ore pieces or the material which is very heavy intensity or which is large in size will obviously completely get submerged in the water inside the pipeline, and they will definitely touch the lower portion or the lower wall of the pipeline, and it will be dragged throughout the length of the pipeline up to the discharge end. And in pressurized transportation system, a highly concentrated hydraulic mixture of extremely fine particles of clay, chalk, peat, coal and the like can be transported even at very low speeds. Here what I mean to say is, sometimes when we do hydraulic mining to transport a very soft material like chalk or clay, we know that they can completely get dissolved into the water. That means their particle size are very negligible, very small size. So this clay or chalk or peat or coal at high pressure incidents onto their faces, they can totally get crushed. After crushing, they will be mixed up with the water in a thick form of slurry, in a viscous form, and this slurry will be transported through the pipelines at a same speed without increasing or decreasing their pressure. Such hydraulic mixtures have certain suspension characteristics when they are at rest. That means even if any breakdown occurs during the hydraulic transportation, even if we stop the entire hydraulic transportation network in this pressurized transportation system, the particle or the mineral will not get settled in the pipelines and will not jam the pipes because they are already dissolved in the water. And in hydraulic transportation system, it makes possible to transport loads, that means nothing but large and huge quantity of mineral or the slurry can be transported through longer distances. For example, in USA, coal has been transported over a distance of 173 kilometers continuously without any interruption through this pressurized transportation system in hydraulic mining. And in the same country, ore is also successfully transported to a distances of more than 115 kilometers through this pressurized transportation system in hydraulic mining. And in order to successfully carry out this pressurized transportation system in hydraulic mining, we need to initially do some calculations appropriately for the exact design of hydraulic transportation systems. In that calculations, we need to consider some parameters like diameter of the pipeline, concentration of the solids in the hydraulic mixture, and the hydraulic resistances. Hydraulic resistances and the hydroabrasive wear of pipeline are lowered drastically. That means the lower portion of the pipe will be eroded completely or slightly, because if the transporting mineral piece size is more, then obviously the lower portion of the pipeline will be eroded. That means the thickness will be decreased by continuous usage of this transportation system. So generally, in order to achieve successful transportation by this pressurized transportation system, we need to break up the mineral size from 1 to 3 mm. Thus, the hydraulic transport over longer distances is usually limited to particles of this size. So if you want to transport the slurry or the hydraulic mixture for the long distances, then definitely the mineral size should be 1 to 3 mm only. So in this hydraulic transportation system, we are having some advantages. Let us see what are those advantages. First of all, obviously, it achieves high capacity transportation. That means without any breakdowns, we can transport high capacity of mineral from feeding end to discharge end, and feasibility of transport over long distances. So here we are having more feasibility because here the main component is water. We are having enough plenty of water and we can recycle the water, so it is more feasible than other transportation media by using railways or roadways. There we will invest more costs in electricity or fuel charges and maintenance. Here low operational cost. Here operational costs are also very low, and feasibility of combining the transport of material with some other technological process. By using this, we have already seen some images in the slides where from underground the coal is being pumped to the surface, and from surface after screening the coal will be dumped into a lorry, and from there the lorry will be used for transporting the coal to the required industries which are demanding the coal. So this is nothing but the combination of hydraulic transport and other technologies. And next, coming to disadvantages of hydraulic transportation system. In disadvantages, we will obviously discuss regarding a considerable consumption of water. That means we need plenty of water. That is one of the disadvantages, and we also need more electric power in order to run the high pressurized bore pumps or suction pumps, and wear of pipeline and pumps when transporting abrasive materials. That means when we transport heavy density materials through this hydraulic transportation system, obviously the pipelines may get damaged and pumps may also get overstressed and may subjected to failure. So we need to change them. For that we need to bear some additional costs, and in some cases pulverization and maceration of the materials being transported. Pulverization is nothing but for in order of transporting those minerals from one end to other end. That means for larger distance, within that time the mineral may get diluted. The mineral may break up into again small pieces which cannot be used by the industry. So there may be a loss. That is nothing but the dilution of the mineral, which requires a subsequent dehydration also. That means after transporting the mineral or the slurry to the other end, that means to the discharge end of the industry, there the mineral should be taken off from the pipelines, and from there the mineral should get dried. That means it should be heated in order to remove all the water molecules from the mineral. That means it's nothing but subsequent dehydration before sending that particular raw material to the industry. And this is all regarding hydraulic mining. Thank you, class, and please go through these slides very carefully, and you can write the notes from these slides, and you can also maintain a running notes whatever I speak in this video. And in part 1 and part 2 you can prepare your assignments of at least 2 questions from each part from now. Thank you, students. If you are having any doubts regarding this topic in the part 2, you can directly mail me your questionnaire to surya3047@gmail.com. Thank you, my dear students.